This is a Game Boy Advance. Released in 2001, it was the next generation of handheld systems released by Nintendo. This is also a Game Boy Advance, and it looks relatively the same, barring some color differences on the shell and markings on the screen. The real difference comes down to a couple of factors. This Game Boy here, when complete with inserts, runs around $150. This Game Boy, as of making this video, has a value of around $1,000 when complete with its box and inserts. So what makes it so much more expensive? It was only sold in Japan for a very limited time, giving it this high value and prestige among collectors. And, well, I was actually silly enough to buy one of these. Yeah. In fact, over the years, I've amassed quite the collection. In fact, I've actually been collecting a bunch of Nintendo stuff over the past, roughly decade. So after dropping a bunch of money on this Game Boy, it kind of made me wonder, why do we enjoy collecting things so much? Now it's estimated that around, 30% of the US population actually collects at least something. Mostly you hear about people collecting stuff like trading cards, stamps, coins. That number is probably way more than 30% now. That study was done in 1995. And I also live in Canada, so it's not really applicable to me now, is it? But today, I don't want to discuss any of those things. No. In case you couldn't tell. Today we're going to be talking about why people collect video games. Seriously though, why would you ever feel compelled to drop hundreds of dollars on some game or memorabilia? Have you seen the price of Pokemon games lately? Whoa, that's insane. Don't look at those. So now we'll dive a bit deeper into why I personally think we justify spending this insane amount of money on games that came out well over a decade ago. And let's face it, you just miss being a kid. As far back as I can remember, I've been playing video games, and especially Nintendo. These games hold a very near and dear place in my heart. I mean, you look at the current state of gaming, and it's just nothing but microtransactions down our throats, and developers barely put any work into these games. And maybe I'm just being jaded, but it feels like gaming was way more special back then. You'd wait a couple of years for a new entry to your favorite series, and developers had to make sure that that shit was perfect. They weren't releasing balance patches for your N64 games, so when it was time to ship, those games had to be meticulously tested, and they just felt like a piece of art. So honestly, I think a lot of us like to collect vintage video games because it symbolizes a time in our life that was magical and innocent, before all them bills and taxes and rent and jobs. Now that's just me personally, and I'd argue actually most collectors out there. But you remember how I was referencing very large and, let's just say, ridiculous prices before? Well, yeah. Let's just say not everybody's necessarily in it for the passion. So if you've spent any time on the internet in the last couple of years, you've probably noticed that the market for old games has been hyperinflated. Karl Jobst actually made a great series of videos detailing deception and lies in the video game market, which I'll link down below for all of you to go watch. I seriously encourage you to do so. It's some amazing journalism going on. Especially at the beginning of the pandemic, we saw a huge uptick in prices for video games, and it just seems to keep getting worse and worse as each year goes on. Especially these past couple of years, we've just seen this crazy boom in video game prices. And I want to give a special mention to Pokemon. Look at this. I remember getting these games for like $30 back in the day. Oh, $150? That's just sad. I was lucky to acquire these games back when they first came out, and I was extra lucky that I wasn't one of those kids that tossed out the box with them. I mean, come on. How could a kid back in the day, especially in the 90s, expect that the cardboard packaging would one day be able to pay for their damn rent? Really, it's just sad to see these games that we grew up with and love so dearly become nothing more than a number in a marketplace that's, kind of deceptive and predatory to potential buyers. I'm just hoping that we'll see these prices come back down to a bit more of a reasonable price over time. Who knows how likely that might actually be. I understand that people are here to make some money, and I respect that. I respect that. At the end of the day, you could always just go and emulate these games, but nothing just quite hits like that physical media. And that's really what the art of collecting comes down to. It's the sentimental value behind each item. These consoles and these games teleport me to a different time, a time where my biggest stressors in life were multiplication tables and final bosses. Collecting reminds us of who we once were, and those core memories will stick with us for many years to come. And that'll pretty much wrap up this video. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed me, basically gushing over my childhood for a couple minutes here. I've never really made a video essay before, so if you enjoyed it, leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and maybe I'll make some more of these, who knows. But yeah, hope you guys all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.